Sarcastically explained. Demon Slayer. Yes, I know what you're thinking. What the hell took you so long to make this video? Well, to be honest, I had to do a rewatch. It's been literal years since I've seen this show. And to be honest, I really didn't think it'd get traction again. Demon Slayer is a spin-off prequel about Inuyasha's best girl, Sango. Join her and her brother Kohaku as their clan of demon slayers tries to rid Sengoku Japan of all demons until they run afoul of Naraku. Oh, I watched wrong anime, didn't I? Okay, but really, if you haven't heard of this show by now, what have you been doing? Living under a rock? That's right, love it, hate it, have no particular strong feelings about it one way or another. This is the hot commodity of the late 2010s and early 2020s. Well, aside from Jujutsu Kaisen and Tokyo Revengers, but who's really keeping track? But really, Season 2 is already coming down the pipeline, and some of y'all might have forgotten what happened in the first place, so let's do a little refresher. Welcome to the Taisho period. Japan has just gotten out of the Meiji Restoration. The Emperor has been restored. Technology's on the rise. Also, there are demons afoot, but not everyone believes in demons despite the horrific massacres that happen on the regular. I don't know, things are funny that way. This is Gary's stew, Tanjiro Kamado. He succeeds in being a wholesome boy, and boy, I mean wholesome. Like, if you're a self-described cynic, he will either rekindle your faith in humanity, or he'll make you swear off his shonen anime forever. There's like no in-between here. He lives out his days as a simple mountain folk with his family who are also simple mountain folks. Until people die when they are killed. Well, except for his now one and only Imoto Nezuko. Only she might have a fate that's worse than death. She's been turned into a demon. You know, I'm not sure why I wrote that in a surprise tone. The word demon's like in the name of the show. I guess you may as well rename the show I Can't Believe My Little Sister is a Demon. Which, depressingly enough, sounds like it could actually be a show dropping in 2022. Wait, what's the other word in the show's title? Oh, right. Enter an actual demon slayer, Giyu Tomioka, who is voiced by Reigen Arataka. Or Johnny Young Bosch, if you're watching the dub. Giyu's all like, hey kid, that's a demon. And Tanjiro's all like, no dude, I can't believe my little sister is a demon. Giyu then tries to kill Nezuko, but of course Tanjiro's got some tricks up his sleeve. It doesn't work. But what does work is Nezuko showing her humanity. So Giyu decides to let them live because Tanjiro wants to turn his sister back into a human someday. Giyu is so cool that he even sends the two to his old teacher. And so Tanjiro trains to become a demon slayer to hunt down the demon who murdered his family, Muzan Kibutsuji. Also, Nezuko can become small for some reason. Don't question it, it's adorable, and just go with it, alright? It's adorable. Tanjiro then gets his very own training arc. Spoilers, he totally passes and becomes a demon slayer. Oh, and while he's there, he meets some other interesting characters. Gee, wonder which ones are important. Oh, and they also get to pick the ore which they forge their swords out of. Tanjiro's comes out black, which is bad apparently. But not really bad, it's more like they're mysterious. Which seems like a case of the writers saying, if I write myself into a corner, I've got this out. And so he goes out into the world trying to chase down Japanese demon Michael Jackson. Only things don't go so easy. There are demons out there. A lot of demons. Each of them more pitiful than the last. Sheesh, Tanjiro's literally out here killing them with kindness. As if physically destroying them weren't enough, he's now emotionally tearing them apart. But of course, Tanjiro can't do this alone. This is a shonen anime after all. He needs the power of friendship. There's the pervy coward Zenitsu, who's so pathetic that Tanjiro's initial reaction to him spawned a meme. The best thing I can say about him is that at least he's not Mineta. Okay, but jokes aside, Zenitsu's a coward who is the embodiment of imposter syndrome. Because, well, his gramps doted on him and wanted him to become a demon slayer. He can also do this.
Thunder breathing, first form. Thunderclap and flash.
Now that is pretty cool. And then there's Inosuke. Honestly, I had to cut out a lot of what I wrote here because it was just too much. He wears a boar mask and he has 2 swords. Legend has it he'd prefer a third, but Oda would have copyright striked him to oblivion for it. He's bold, he's brash, and you'd think he'd be an ugly bastard under that mask. But nope, he's, like, one of the most handsome characters in the show. Oh, and also he can't ever get Gonpachiro's name right.
Alright, Gonpachiro Kamapoko, I'm gonna bring you down! Who are you talking about? You, of course!
It is our personal hope as a JoJo community that one day, and I mean one day, he will call Tanjiro Jotaro. Oh, and he can also do this.
Let me demonstrate what else I'm capable of.
And so the idiot trio come together and do battle on Mount Natagumo. But of course, things go bad. Like, so f***ing bad that the Demon Slayer Core Master has to send in 2 Hashira. What are Hashira? Basically top ranks. If you watched Bleach, just imagine the Gote Jusan, and speaking of Bleach, here's Substitute Soul Reaper Gyu Tomioka, the Water Hashira. Really? And the Insect Hashira and Best Girl Shinobu Kocho. To say their relationship is contentious would be an understatement. He's quiet and seemingly aloof. She's bubbly and very studious. Perfectly balanced as all things should be, which is exactly why they must be shipped at all costs. But of course neither would really confess to each other because let's face it, that is how you lose. This is Shinobu-sama, Love is War. That's not a joke, they actually fight. But before we get to that, Muzan is planning something with the demon top brass. There are 12 of them, there's the upper 6 and the lower 6, you can infer what the names mean, but basically he uses a lot of fear and intimidation in this meeting. And violence. Jeez, just because you're demons doesn't mean you have to have a toxic workplace. But then again, not like dead people can leave bad Glassdoor reviews anyways. Enmu here is the last one standing and he becomes very important later on. Trust me. Tanjiro then gets his big moment and Ufotable pulls out all the stops as they do. And all sarcasm aside, this is actually one of my favorite animated moments. Only it's not really his big moment, and Gyu-senpai has to step in. The Mount Natagumo incident ends, and it shows the idiot trio just how far they have to go. Oh, and Tanjiro's arrested for harboring a demon, basically. But of course, Nezuko once again asserts herself as anime's best Imoto and wins the hearts and minds of all the Hashira there and the Master. And then, as most anime do, they train some more. Tanjiro is predictably all gung-ho about it, but the others aren't. Until Zenitsu is. So Shinobu has to step in and use her expertise to encourage them. A bit of womanly charm here for Zenitsu, and a bit of gentle mocking here for Inosuke, but it's not really gentle mocking, it's actually quite savage. Also, she kinda smells angry? Sheesh, that's a conversation starter. Imagine using that one in real life. Excuse me, miss, you smell angry. How do you think that would go? But that aside, it was the inspiration for this salty Shinobu Thoughts video right here. Is that the right side? Right here. And so their training arc comes to an end and they're ready to head back out on a mission. But not before. Holy mother of ship fuel. And so that ends season 1 and brings us to the events of Mugen Train, which I actually don't have to cover now because this is where season 2 starts. They're actually parceling up the movie and adding in some additional scenes that got cut or they just wanted to add in. So, why did I watch the movie again? Okay, real answer, the pacing of the movie is excellent, and if you break that up into 21-minute chunks with opening and ending, you kinda lose that. So if you've already watched the movie like I have, don't feel bad about it because it is a very good experience in and of itself. Until you start watching season 2 and you immediately start tearing up at the appearance of one particular character. Wounds are still very fresh. He didn't lose. He did not lose. And that was season 1 of Demon Slayer, Sarcastically Explained. As always, if you have something that you would like to suggest for me to sarcastically explain next, please do leave it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Hey kids, do you want to hear a Taisho era secret? Most people think that these outros are annoying, but they're statistically proven to work. So I'm going to kindly ask you to please consider liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and turning on notifications. Also, please check out our Discord server. Thanks for watching.